Face. How can you describe Kenya's first president? A traitor, a hero, or a crafty man who had insatiable appetite for power and freebies? In this video, I will disclose how Jomo Kenyatta orchestrated his own arrest and betrayed those who were close to him. Buckle up. Kamau Ngeki, as he is officially known, was born in 1894 in Kenya, which was known as British East Africa at the time. I won't dwell much on his childhood since it is not the focal point of this video. We'll jump to 1929 when members of the Kikuyu Central Association (KCA) raised funds to facilitate his movement from Mombasa, Kenya to London, Britain for further studies. During his stay in London, he became a spendthrift, something which raised concern among the Church Mission Society. He would lodge with Dina Stock, who helped him edit his book, Facing Mount Kenya, and get into a romantic relationship with her. A short while before the start of World War II, the two lovebirds fled London and settled in Sussex before separating in 1942. Without wasting time, Kenyatta got into another intimate relationship with Edna Clark, who had lost her parents during the raging war. Kenyatta would go ahead and marry Edna, and the two would become parents to the only child, Peter Magana. Kenyatta would not stay in London forever, and in 1946, at the request of Kenya African Union, would return to Kenya. During the return, he lacked a political party to steer forth his agenda, given that the colonial government had banned KCA. The following year, James Gishuru would step down as COW president for Kenyatta. During Kenyatta's tenure as COW president, the Kikuyu organization would move, alternating between a formal group to an extremist one. The most notable extremist groups of all was the Mau Mau, which used guerrilla tactics against the colonialists. Kenyatta's arrest was dramatic, if not choreographed. On 21st October 1952, in the wee hours of the morning, the police broke into Jomo Kenyatta's house, which was located in Ishaweri, and arrested him. While extending his hands to get handcuffed, he asked the police, "What took you so long, gentlemen? Does this ring a thing into your mind?" Never mind. In 1953, his house was demolished and the small property which he owned destroyed. The mainstream media and tabloids have always described the prison where Kenyatta sentenced together with the Bildad Kagia, Kongo Karumba, Paul Ngei, Acheng Oneko, and Fred Kubai, commonly known as the Kapenguria Six, as deplorable. However, letters written by his colleagues paint a different picture. For example, although the general condition of the prison was deplorable, Kenyatta lived like a king. First, although the normal day for the prisoners started at 5 a.m., Kenyatta was required to wake up at 3 a.m. to prepare porridge. While other prisoners were forced to perform menial jobs, Kenyatta would only be assigned light duties such as cooking for the prisoners and cleaning. The Kapenguria Six would soon get new mates in 1955, Kariuki Chotara and General China. Division emerged among the prisoners over the preferential treatment to Kenyatta. However, General China volunteered to protect Kenyatta. Prior to China's sacrifice, Kariuki Chotara had attempted to murder Kenyatta. In Kagia's book, Roots of Freedom, he alleges that the chairman of Mau Mau Central Committee, he felt that Jomo Kenyatta was a traitor. After the anti-Kenyatta inmates held several discussions, they chose Chotara to kill Kenyatta by knife. Since at his young age of 16 to 17, he would not be hanged for killing. Unfortunately for them, and fortunately for Kenyatta, that did not materialize. In 1961, Jomo Kenyatta was released from the Loki Town prison. However, before his release, the colonial government set aside funds to build him a new house in Ishaweri. Kenyatta would raise complaints about ill treatment by the colonial government during and after his arrest in 1952. Did the colonial government comply?
Hell no!
On November 8, in 1961, Kenyatta was humbled on his trip to London when he was hit with rotten eggs and humiliated publicly. A year later, Kenyatta traveled with members of the KANU and KADU to London to discuss about formulation of a new constitution. Months to 1 years after independence, Kenyatta was involved in dubious deals which tainted his image up to date. For example, on 1st August 1963, he was hesitant to receive the Royal Lodge in Sagana as a present after independence, citing that the royal family were entitled to it and could use anytime they visited Kenya. If this was not a show of support to Kenya's oppressors, what was it? The same month, Kenyatta would meet with over 300 white settlers in Nakuru and its environs. During the meeting, he assured them of their safety after independence. On October the same year, Jomo Kenyatta would urge Ian Henderson, the Assistant Commissioner of Kenya Police, to remain behind too, even after independence. Remember, Mr. Henderson was the one who orchestrated the search and arrest of Dedan Kimathi. Despite several hurdles, the country went ahead and gained independence on December 12, 1963. During the celebration, Kenyatta's family was present as well as Prince Philip, who was the Duke of Edinburgh. In 1964, after Kenya became a republic, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the country's Minister for Home Affairs, would start flashing out white settlers, referring to them as hardliners. The decision to flash out white settlers did not go well with Kenyatta, and he questioned Oginga Odinga. In his defense, Oginga replied to him, "Mzee, you gave me full powers. I would have failed in my duty if I did not get rid of Mr. Henderson, since he did lead our independence." In 1965, rumors that Oginga wanted to overthrow Jomo Kenyatta surfaced, throwing the country into a disarray. However, Odinga rebuked the claim, stating that Jomo Kenyatta was elected a leader in confidence by the people and is a first-class leader. If I had wanted to take over the government, I would have done so when in prison. But I'm the one who fought for his release, while there are those who are now saying Mr. Odinga has guns everywhere, while disowning him. Oginga's speech was used by Tom Mboya and Ronald Gala to paint Oginga as protagonist. For example, although Oginga was expected to travel to London to represent Kenya, he was placed by Joseph Morumbi, and Kenyatta went ahead and transferred Oginga's ministerial functions to Charles Njonjo.
It is fairly clear that there is pressure and desire that I should leave the government. The authority concerned has, however, showed reluctance to say so openly to the public. If I thought that there was the slightest chance of putting things right from within the government,
Oginga's influence would dwindle, forcing him to resign from Kano in 1966. On September 1966, Kenyatta suffered a severe heart attack that left him unconscious for 3 days. Although he would come back strong, the masses started organizing for a succession plan, as you can see here. 3 years later, a secret meeting between Njonjo, Daniel Arap Moi, Mungai, and Bruce Mackenzie discussed the security situation in the country and how they would handle it in case Jomo Kenyatta died. Kenyatta's rule was riddled with a series of revenge and assassinations. For example, Bildad Kagia was arrested for holding an unlicensed meeting in April 1968 before being sentenced for a year. The following year, Tom Mboya was assassinated. Fast forward to 1975, JM's body was found by a Maasai man rotting away at Olosho Oibor in Ngong. From the body state, which included gouged eyes, front teeth missing, and fingers missing, it was clear that he had undergone extreme torture. In a manner that showed Kenyatta's government was responsible for the murder, the police took over 24 hours to collect JM's body after the report was made to them. JM openly antagonized Kenyatta and called for a limit to be set on the size of land that one owned. Allow me to talk more about JM's murder, since I think it will clear a way on several issues. Fast forward to 1984, Mr. Giethi, The primary suspect in the death of JM called Rahab and requested her to bring along JM's wife, Terry. During the meeting, he disclosed to them that he delivered the JM to a security team investigating the OTC bomb blast. He also opened to them how General China supervised the whole process. Back to Kenyatta's story. Between 1977 and 1978, when he died, Jomo Kenyatta suffered from several heart attacks. On August 1978, he finally died of heart attack in the state house of Mombasa. For a long time, the issue of Kenyatta's involvement in land grabbing has been a thorn in the flesh, with many people terming him as gluttonous leader. One of the victims who suffered from this insatiable appetite for land ownership was Mr. Savani. In 1976, Jomo Kenyatta approached Savani with an offer to buy the land, to which he declined. Mama Ngina, Kenyatta's youngest wife, would give Mr. Savani an ultimatum to send the land to her at a meager 2 million shillings, which was payable in bits. The land grabbing and insatiable appetite for free things is documented in linked documents from 1974 to 1977. In one of the documents, Kenyatta orders dairy cows to be brought from a farm in Molo to his Gatundu farm. Additionally, he also ordered to be allocated 30,000 acres of the Sukari Ranch, which extended from Nairobi environs all the way to Gatundu. There are more and more pieces of land that Kenyatta took forcefully, but we won't indulge into that. Would I be wrong to say that Jomo Kenyatta was a hero and patriot? His patriotism pushed him to kill and humiliate General Mathenge. Despite other freedom fighters, take land that was meant to settle squatters in Tana River and Kahawa, plant seeds of tribalism by having people take oaths to not vote for certain tribes, and empower or collaborating chiefs for the time. A real patriot he was, indeed. See you in the next video as we explore the life of Patrice Lumumba, Zaire's savior to be, whose mission was cut short. As usual, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and share the video.